Guys, let me know once you're able to see my screen.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, great. So guys, yesterday we saw about data types and type inference versus type annotation. So today we are actually going to see about operators before we see about conditional statements. Okay, so it would be better if you know operators first than going to conditional statements. So we'll see operators today, but before we see operators also, we'll see few things on how to, print to the console using console.log, like a few different ways. Okay. So let me show you this first. So we already saw how to print a simple text or a simple string. Okay, so this is how we print a simple string. What if you want to print things one after the other? So you can actually separate them using a comma. So if I execute this file now, you'll see hello world and 20. And the last one, if you see this, it'll print hello world 20. Yes. Okay. Let me execute and show it to you guys. See, hello world 20 and hello world 20. Yes. Okay. Now let's say I am adding two numbers. Hello world 20 plus 20. Okay. Can anybody tell me what would be the output? A guess.
I think hello world 20 plus 20.
No.
It will
So
print
it would be
20 plus 20.
hello
40.
world 40. So basically, before it prints anything in this, it is going to do the operations that are there inside this. Then only it is going to print whatever it has to print. Okay, so it takes the operations in precedence first and then printing next. Okay. Any doubts in this?
Sorry, could you come again, please? Sorry.
About the last one?
Yeah, what you were saying, because I was just coming from the generative AI class, so sorry.
Yeah, so I was just explaining about how to print in different ways. So we already saw the hello world, how to print a simple string. So, but if you want to print multiple things, one after the other, you can separate them using a comma. Okay. So here I printed two things and here I printed three things. Here I am printing things, but in addition to printing, I'm actually adding two numbers first. So if you see the output, it says hello world 40. So what I'm trying to say is before the log statement prints anything, it will check if it has to do any operations inside the statement, performs those operations and then prints it. So that is why you see hello world 40. Okay. Did you get the gist,
Yeah.
Ola?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So let's start operators. Yeah. Give me 1 second. We are seeing. Okay. So yesterday we saw how to actually declare variables and do everything, right? So what are we actually going to do just by declaring variables? So there are a lot of things that you might need to do in programming. So what we saw yesterday was just 0.001% of programming. And from today, we are going to see the extra things that you actually need to know to actually excel in programming. So yesterday we saw how to initialize or declare a variable and then initialize it. But then what if you want to do some operations between them? or operations on them. How do you do it? So this is where the concept called operators comes in. Okay. In TypeScript, there are 5 types of operators: arithmetic operators, assignment operators, comparison operators, logical operators, and type operators. Okay. So let's see arithmetic operators first. So here I have declared 2 numbers A and B. Now, what are the different types of arithmetic operations? Addition, which is a plus sign. Subtraction, which uses a minus sign. Multiplication, which uses a star, or some people call it asterisk. And the slash, which is used to do a division. And a percentage symbol, which is called modulo division. So a lot of people might already know about addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So, but what is modulo division and how does it differ from division? Okay. So when I divide 2 numbers using this division slash symbol, the answer you get is the quotient. When you use this modulo division symbol, the answer you get is the remainder. For example, let's take these 2 things. Okay. When you divide 10 and 3, what is the quotient you get? It's 3.3, 3 something, right? So that is the output of A/B. When I do a modulo division, in normal division terms, when I divide 10 and 3, what is the remainder? The remainder is 1, right? So that is what you get when you do a modulo division between 2 numbers. So that is the reason the output is 1. Okay. So in all these lectures, you might be seeing me using this double slash or things like this. Okay. So what are these? So basically when I say like this means this is a single line comment. So I can write anything over here and the compiler will not care about this line. Okay. You are just trying to show or explain things using comments. So here I am writing arithmetic operators. So when I use the TSC command, it won't care about these lines 17, 18 or 19 because it knows these are comments. Okay, this is a single line comment. But if I want to write a multi-line comment, hello, I'm there, how are you? So you can either do it like this, have a double slash before every statement, or you can start something like this, /* star, and end it with a star /. So whatever you write in between these symbols will be a multi-line comment. And these are also not taken into consideration when TypeScript is compiling the code. Okay, so that is why you see me writing the answers like this without any effect. Okay. Any doubts in comments? Okay. So the next arithmetic operator is the incremental operator. Okay. And then the next thing is a decremental operator. What is an incremental operator and what is a decremental operator? So basically when you say A++, internally it is going to increase this by 1. So when you do a console.log, automatically you will see this value as 11. What is a decremental operator? When you use B minus, internally it does B minus 1. Then it becomes 2. 3 minus 1 is 2. So that is what is going to get printed. Okay. So these are the arithmetic operators. So before I run the program and show you what are about these arithmetic operators, do you have any fundamental doubts in arithmetic operators?
So the division, can you just repeat this division?
Right. So division, when you use a forward slash, you are going to get the quotient. When you use this percentage symbol, which is a modulo division, you get the remainder.
Okay. And why you provided semicolon after each line? Yesterday we did not. I
Yeah,
asked this. Yeah,
just convenience purpose. You can,
we can give in this
yeah,
TypeScript.
yeah. You can give. It is not going to say any error, but it's not mandatory. Okay. Before I execute this arithmetic operators, any doubts, guys? Okay. Now let me execute them. So before I execute this, what I'll do is I'm going to comment all the other things in my file and then just do a TypeScript compile on operators and then node operators.js. Okay, I think everything got okay. So I didn't save the file. So please remember, guys, when you are changing something, remember to save the file first. Okay, see, these are the same answers that I wrote here, right? A plus B is 13, A minus B is 7, A into B is 30, and the other things. So basically, the thing, yes. Okay, so the basically the whole thing over here is I can remove this whole thing and just write A plus B here and it will still work. The only reason I am writing this is because I want you to see the print statement to be very interactive. If I remove this, you will just see 13. You will not know what operation is being performed. Okay. So don't get confused with this console.log statements. A lot of things I am writing it only for the purpose of for you to understand things properly. Okay. Any doubts after the execution? Okay. Let's see assignment operators. So yesterday we already saw the assignment operator, but you guys don't know that it was an operator. Okay. So we were using an equal to assign a value to a variable, right? So this equal to is an assignment operator. Okay. And there are other operators like plus equal to, minus equal to, star equal to, and slash equal to. So what is internally happening when I am doing this? When I do x plus equal to 2, internally it's saying x is equal to x plus 2. So I have made my number as 5. So when I say x plus equal to 2, it says it what it does, it makes 5 plus 2 and then assigns it back to x. So now the value of x is 7. Okay. The same logic applies for the other things also. Minus means it is going to minus the value that you are giving here and assign it to the same variable. Star means it is going to do a subtraction, multiplication. Slash means you are going to make a normal division, which is going to give you the quotient. Okay, any doubts, guys, before I execute this? So
Cannot write directly x equals to x plus
you
2, right? We need to use
yeah.
x plus equals to 2.
No, you can write it normally also. This is a shorthand. That's all. That is what I was going to tell you next. So that just because that there is an operator like this doesn't mean that you cannot write it the traditional way. You can always write it the traditional way. This is just the shorthand way to do things. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll execute all of these things once I explain all the operators. That would be a bit easier. Okay. So can I move to the comparison operators? Okay. Okay. Comparison operators are a bit interesting and also tricky. So let's get into them. So see, I have initialized two variables called P and Q. Okay. And then I have made them P is 5 and Q is a 5, but it is a string. Okay, it's not directly a number, it is a string. So now you people might have a doubt as to what is this any? You don't know a data type called any. You only know a data type called unknown. Okay. So basically any and unknown are similar, but like I said yesterday, using any or unknown is not encouraged by the TypeScript developers. So that is why I told you only one thing called unknown, but normally you can use this any also if you are trying to use the same variable to store different types of values. Okay. So any is also a data type, which is discouraged to use. The only reason I am telling you here right now is to show you about operators. Okay. Any doubts on the any part? Okay. Now let's see different types of comparison operators. So remember one thing. When you compare anything in any programming language, okay, the output of any comparison is a Boolean value. Okay, so it will be either true or it will be false. Okay, so even in real life, if you compare two numbers 20 greater than 15, the only output is either it is true or it is false, right? There is nothing more than that. So in programming world also, the only output that you are going to get when you do comparison is a Boolean, which is either true or false. Okay. Any doubts in the statement that I just told you? Okay. Now let's see the equal to operator. Okay. This is when you use two equal to symbols, this is called loose equality. That means it is going to check only the values. It is not going to care about the data types. So here P is a number and Q is a string. But fortunately the values are same. Right? So that is why when you use a loose equality, you will get true. Okay. But there is a concept called strict equality where you use three equal to symbols where it doesn't check just for the values, but it also checks for the data types. Since P and Q are having different data types, even though they have the same values, that is why it is going to print you false. Okay. The same thing. This is a not equal to operator. So you are asking if P is not equal to Q or not. Okay. So it is just reverse, guys. See, when you use a exclamation mark and an equal to, this is called loose inequality. Okay, when you use an exclamation mark and a double equals, it is strict inequality. So loose equality and strict inequality are same. At the same time, strict equality and loose inequality are same. Are you guys able to understand this pattern? So when I ask if P is not equal to Q, it says false. Okay, because even though both of them are same, their data type is different. That is why it tells you false. P is not equal to Q is false because it still thinking that they are equal. But when I say P strict inequality to Q, then it is going to say it is true. Okay. So try to understand the trend over here. So loose equality and strict inequality are the same. Strict equality and loose inequality are the same. Okay. It might be a bit confusing, but the more you practice, you'll be able to understand this. Okay. And the next operator is greater than operator. So this is pretty basic. So you're asking if P is greater than 3, then it is going to give you true if it is greater than 3. Here I am saying 5. Okay, 5 is greater than 3. So that is why it's going to give you true. So you can also use greater than or equal to. I didn't write it specifically here. So you can use greater than or equal to like this. Okay. And the next thing is less than or equal to. I'm asking if P is less than or equal to 5. It is going to check if P is less than or equal to 5. It might not be less than, but it is equal to 5. That is why it is true. And in the same way, you can just try it with less than. If I ask if it is less than 5, P is not less than 5. So that is why it will give you false. I didn't write specifically for greater than or equal to and less than, but that is the idea. Okay. Any doubts in the comparison operators?
No, I think it's good. Just an observation, or probably like the equality, inequality, those concepts, are they specific to the TypeScript and JavaScript? The reason
Yes,
why I'm asking is
they are specific to JavaScript and TypeScript, right?
I haven't heard about this even in Python.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's move on to logical operators. Okay. So just like comparison operators, logical operators also return only a Boolean, whether it is true or it is false. But the logical operators, the operands, which are is student and has ID, both of them also should be Booleans only. Okay. For comparison operators, the operands can be of any data type. But for logical operators, most of the times, the operands are also Booleans. So this is basically like, if you want to know if both of them are right, then only you are saying it is right. If both of them, if any one of them is right, then I am okay with it. So this comes in that concept. So now here I am saying each student is true and has ID is false. When I use a double and ampersand here, it will check if both of them are true or not. If any of them is false, then it is going to give you false. But if any of them is true, sorry, if both of them are true, then it is going to give you true. Okay, so this is called AND operator. In the same way, you can see this double pipe symbol, which is called OR operator. So this is different to AND operator. Here, it is going to check if any one of them is true, then it is true. If both of them are false only, then it is going to be false. Okay. And the last operator in logical operators is NOT operator. So basically, when you do a NOT operator on anything, it is going to give you the opposite of it. So each student is true here. So when I do a NOT of each student, you are going to get a false. Any doubts in logical operators? Okay, let's move to type of operators. Okay. So this is not a traditional kind of operators that you have in all types of programming languages. This is specific to TypeScript. So what you can understand from here is, if you want to know what is the type of your variable, then you can actually use type of and give the variable name, and it is going to tell you what is the type. Here, my name's type is string and my age type is number. Okay. So then that is how you get string or number. So the reason a lot of people use this type of operator is, in complex applications, whenever you are actually building something, sometimes you get inputs from external sources and you never know what the type of that input might be. So you want to make sure to do any action after knowing the type only. So it's like, if it is a number, I want to do something. If it is a string, I want to do something else. In that cases, this type of operator will be very, very useful. Okay. So that is the thing. Okay. And then this is just a small example as to how you can also declare strings and concatenate other values. Okay. So here I want to know, I just want to print how many years since this grocery shop is actually established. Okay. So I can do it in different ways. Let's see. This is not specific to operators, but this is an interesting concept. See this and we can actually print and see all the values. Okay. The first way is, let shop1 is equal to grocery shop plus my age. Okay, you can do it like this. And the other way is, you can actually do it like this also. So you can actually declare a string using this symbol also. So this is the symbol that is under the tilde symbol. You will be able to see that on your keyboard. So you can actually write grocery shop. And if you want to append something to the string like my age, you can actually do it using this dollar symbol and two curly braces opened and closed. And inside that, you have to give the variable name that you want to actually, whose value you want to append. Here I want to append age. Okay. But if you try the same thing over here, it will not work. Okay. So here what will happen is it is going to print grocery shop my age. But here it's going to print grocery shop 20. Okay. So let's see these also. I'm just putting a print statement. Okay. Any doubts in this, guys?
Can you explain again this let shop 1 equals to grocery shop? So you have provided into inverted commas also.
Yeah. So this is with the normal quotes. You cannot append something inside it
Yeah,
like this.
definitely we cannot
You have to use the plus operator and then say
Mm-hmm.
my age. Okay. But with this inverted thing, what you can actually do is you can append something inside it using this dollar symbol and this curly braces. So this is an easier way to append something to a string that you actually want.
This is also under inverted commas in the second line, 96th line.
So this is this symbol. I'm actually not sure what they call this symbol, but
Inverted commas.
this is it. This
Um,
is,
I think they call it as grave accent key. Let me put it on the chat.
yeah. Okay. Either ways, I hope you understood the concept.
Sorry, where do I find that symbol in the keyboard?
Um,
Or in the escape key?
yeah,
Okay.
maybe try it. I mean, on Windows, can you try that? Maybe it'll work with Shift.
I'm trying. No.
Yeah,
No, not
it's
shift, just normally.
Normal shift.
Yeah, normal
normal
that
shift.
might
I mean,
be.
there's no.
Yeah, normal shift, it's working. Yeah. That's why I was wondering like which is this symbol.
Yeah,
Okay.
right. Now let's execute everything and see the output one by one. Okay, that way you'll have the satisfaction of seeing the output on the console. So what do we do before doing anything? First, compile it properly.
Save it.
So you got an error. So it says cannot. Okay, I gave the wrong variable name. Okay, now node operators.js. Yeah, now let's see the assignment operators. So what did we do first? We are adding 2. So what is 5 plus 2? 7. Right answer. And then we are doing minus 3. What is 7 minus 3? 4. Right answer. What is 4 into 2? 8. Right answer again. And what is 8 divided by 4? The quotient. It's 2. Right answer again. Then comparison operators. P lose equality to Q is true. P strict equality is false. And then the same thing for lose inequality, which is false. And then strict inequality, which is true, which is equal to lose equality. Okay. Then P greater than 3, obviously true. Is P less than or equal to equal to 5? Obviously true again. Then logical operators, is student and has ID. So we are using an AND operator. Has ID is false. So obviously if one of these is false with an AND operator, you're going to get false. And with the same thing, if you're using an OR, since at least one of them is true, you're going to get a true. and a not operator on true is going to give you false. Okay. And then I'm printing the type of my name, which is a string, type of my age, which is a number again. And see the console outputs of shop1 and shop2. Shop1 is messy because the normal codes will not allow you to append a value like this. But these inverted codes will let you append a value using this dollar and curly braces. That's why you see grocery shop 20, which is right over here, but here it is messy. Okay. Any doubts, guys?
Can you scroll above for comparison operators
Yeah.
where it was written not equals to comparison operators?
You want in the code? Okay.
Yeah, code. P is not equal to Q.
So I will give you this code.
Mhm.
You don't have to write it now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So guys, everybody good with operators?
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. So now let's see the conditional statements. So we'll see how much ever is possible today and we can continue the other things tomorrow. Okay. So I already have it from the previous demo. Just copy paste it here. Okay. Yeah. So yeah. So what are conditional statements? Let's try to understand them first. Okay. Fine. So what are conditional statements? So in normal day-to-day life also, we take decisions like based on a lot of different things. If this is how it is, I'm going to do that. If that is how it is, I'm going to do this. Right? So normally in India, if you want to vote in an election, you should be of age about greater than 18 years. So how are you going to do the same thing in programming language? So until now, you know how to declare something and then do some operations between each of them. But you want to do an operation on something, you want to print that this guy is eligible to vote only if his age is greater than 18. How do you do that? So this is where conditional statements actually come in. Okay. So if is that conditional statement. So if is pretty self-explanatory. So when you say if this happens only, do something that is there inside it, or else leave it. So that is how an if works, even in your real life also, right? So if you see line number 10, see how I wrote the syntax. So just so that you guys will learn it by writing, I'm going to write this again for you. I'm saying if, this is how you start your conditional statement. You say if my age is greater than 18. So you need to give two curly braces and write what you want to do if the age is 18, greater than 18. So here, if the age is greater than 18, I want to say I am eligible to vote. Okay. So now, whatever is there inside these parentheses, these two brackets, is called a condition. And whatever that gets executed because of this is called a conditional statement. Is a statement. So that is why it is called a conditional statement. Okay. So an if works only if this operation, the one that you write inside the both parentheses, returns a true. I told you guys, what did I told you when I was teaching you operators? I told you the comparison operators are only going to give you a Boolean value, either true or false. So if a comparison gives you true, then only the if statement is going to get executed. Okay. So here my age is 17. Now what happens? The execution comes here. It will check if my age is greater than 17. So is 17 greater than 18? No, right? So that is why it will get false here. So if this is false, it is not going to execute whatever is there is inside between these two curly braces. Okay. So then it is not going to print anything at all. Got it? Any doubts in if? Okay. Now there is another scenario. Okay. What if my age is, if my age is greater than 18, I'm eligible to vote. I'm printing I'm eligible to vote. But what if I want to print I am not eligible to vote if my age is not greater than 18? Okay. That is where the concept of if else comes in. Okay. So here I'm taking a example called is raining, which is a Boolean value directly. Okay. So I'm saying if is raining. So here I'm making it as false. So that is why whatever is there inside if will not going to get executed. Now I wrote another block called else after if. So if this doesn't get executed, we want to execute something so that there is a clear indication to the people who are running the program. So that is why we use else. So since this statement is false, whatever is there in else is going to get printed. Now it is going to print you wear sunglasses. Okay, so the difference between if and if else is if means you are just saying if a condition is returning you true, print that and do nothing. If it is not returning true, don't print that and do nothing. But with if else, you're actually making the application more readable to the user by saying if the condition is true, print whatever you're supposed to print. But if the condition is false, don't make the user think about what is wrong with my input. Instead, tell him what is wrong with your input. So that is where this block called else comes in. Okay. Any doubts? Any else? Okay. Now there is another concept called if, else if, and else. So we are just taking up more complexity now. So there might be more than one condition you might have to deal with. Then how are you going to deal with? So normally what happens is, you know the grading system, right? So if marks are greater than 90, your grade is A+. But what if your marks are greater than 75? Then your grade is A. What if your marks are greater than 60 only, and then your grade is only B, right? So if you're between 60 and 75, you're B. If you're between 75 and 90, you're A. But if you're greater than 90, you're A plus. And then if none of these conditions actually satisfy, write an else saying grade C. You already understood what is else, but else if is to handle multiple things. Okay. Now, let's see it until here today. I'll try to execute this. I'll try to execute this and show you the outputs. Okay. So what do we have to do first? Do a TypeScript compile, and then do a node conditional statements dot js. Yeah. So for the if statement, nothing got printed because my age is 17. That is why nothing got printed. Okay. For the if else statement, is raining is false. That is why take an umbrella didn't get printed. Whatever is there in else, which is wear sunglasses, that got printed. Right? And then here, number of marks I've given is 65. So it checked if my marks is greater than 90 first. No. Then it checked if my marks are greater than 75. No. And then it checked if my marks are greater than 60. It said, okay, this condition is satisfying and printed grade B. Okay. Now let's do one thing. Let's change the inputs. Here I'm going to give my age as 19. And I'm saying is raining is true. And here I'm going to give marks as 99. Okay. Now can anybody tell me what would be the output for if statement, if else statement, and if else if and else statement for all the three scenarios? Anybody?
Yeah, can you scroll up and give if statement like we are providing the value 19.
Yes.
So if my age 2 is greater than 18, so it will print I am eligible to vote.
Right. So what is the output that you'll get in this?
I am eligible to vote.
Okay. What is the output you'll get in this?
If else, it will be take an umbrella.
Yes. So what would be this?
Grade A plus.
Correct. So guys, others, did you understand? Or do you guys have any doubts? I'm going to execute it and show it to you now, but do you guys have any doubts? See, it says I'm eligible to vote. It says take an umbrella and it says grade is A plus. Okay. If I make this marks as 40 and try to execute this again. See, it says the grade is C because it is not greater than 60, not greater than 75, and not greater than 90. So that is why none of the conditions have passed. So that is why it went into else and printed whatever we gave in else. Okay. Any doubts, guys? Okay. I mean, a lot of you guys are actually able to grasp things very quickly, which is a very good thing. Or you guys are not asking any questions. It could be either one of these things. So don't hesitate to ask questions if you have any, because there's no question, there's no such thing as a dumb question. Please ask. Okay. Fine. So now let's see another conditional thing called switch. Okay. Switch is something that you might not be using very much in your day-to-day programming. But since we are covering conditional statements, I want to cover switch also. Okay. So switch is actually the same as if, but the way you write it is a bit different. Okay. So here I'm saying the day is Wednesday. Okay. Without switch, how can I write this is if day double equals to Monday, start of the week, else if day double equals to Wednesday, midweek break, else if day double equals to Friday, almost weekend, else just another day. This is how I write with if, else if and else block, right? But switch is actually another way to actually execute these conditional statements. So how do you do it? So first, I'm just letting you guys know how to write the syntax. First thing is you need to write switch, just like if, and then inside you need to give what is the variable that you actually want to keep changing and checking for. Okay, here day is something I'm actually checking. So that is what you need to write. Switch day, and inside the curly braces, you need to use this keyword called case. If the day is Monday, you need to give a colon and then write what, and then do whatever you want to do here. Okay. And then you need to write a statement called break. Okay. So this is how you write for other cases also. So now if I uncomment this, you'll see for every case, after doing whatever I want to do, I am writing this statement called break. The reason is you need to write break because if you don't write break here, what happens is it is going to print start of, let's say if my day is Monday, it is going to print start of the week and midweek break also. It is not going to stop. So if you want it to stop execution after it matches the case, you need to write break. Okay. Just like in if else, when you are writing else do something, here there is a keyword called default, which is similar to else, where you can say if none of these match, write this. Okay. So now let's execute and see different types of switch. Okay. So guys, I'll complete the class in another 10 minutes. Don't worry. So now my day is Wednesday. Can anybody tell me what would be the output for switch statement?
Midweek break.
Right. So before I compile, I'm saving the file. Then doing condition statements.js. What did it print? It printed midweek break, which is right. So now let me change it to Monday. What do you think it'll print, guys?
Start of the week.
Yep, start of the week is the right answer. So now let me give it Sunday. What will be the output, guys?
The default one, just another day.
Yep, right answer again, just another day. Okay, now you got an understanding of how a switch works with when break is given properly for all the cases. Okay, now let me do one thing. Let me change this to Monday, and let me remove the break over here. Now, what do you think it is going to print, guys?
Start of the week still,
No,
or will it show syntax error?
it won't show syntax error, and it will not print only the start of the week also. What it is going to print is, it is going to print start of the week, midweek break. Okay. So I'm showing you this because I want you guys to understand the importance of break over here. Okay. So don't forget to end your case with a break, or else the next thing also is going to get executed. That is how the switch statement works. Okay.
Yeah.
So what if I remove break here also? Now what do you think is going to get printed?
Almost weekend.
Yeah, it is going to print until almost weekend. So start of the week, midweek break, almost weekend. Right answer. So now I'm going to change the day to Wednesday. Okay, and I'm going to remove the break here. What do you think it is going to print now?
Will print midweek break and almost weekend.
Right answer. Because it checked if it is Monday or not. Okay, it's not Monday. So then it checked if it is Wednesday or not. Okay, it is Wednesday. Printed this. It didn't see a break. So it went to the next case and it printed whatever is there in that. And then since there is a break, it stopped there. Okay. Are you guys able to understand how it works with break and without break? Any doubts in this?
But it is checking for this case, right? So even though if there's no break, but the string it doesn't match, still why does it print?
That is what. So when there is no break, it doesn't check for the case.
Okay.
It is directly going to do whatever is there in the case. Okay, got it?
Yeah.
Okay. So the last thing, guys. So this is a ternary operator and so it is also called a ternary conditional statement. So first I'm going to explain you guys how we normally do using an if-else. Okay. So let's say there are two variables called is logged in. Okay, there is a variable called is logged in. Okay. So I'm saying if this fellow is logged in, make the message as welcome back, else make the message as please log in, and then print the message. Okay. In this case, this is normal if and else that we already saw. So what do you think will be the output? So what will be the output when I do this console.log of message 1?
Please log in.
Yes, it will be please log in, right? So what if I want to do this in a single line? So that is where this concept called ternary operator comes in. So here I've declared it like this. So here what I'm going to do is first I'm going to declare it, and then after equal to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say is logged in, and I'm going to give a question mark. Okay. What this will do is this question mark is a ternary operator. What it will do is it will check if this is true or not. If it is true, whatever we are writing on the left side of this colon will get executed. If this is false, whatever we are writing to the right of this colon will get executed. So since he's logged in is false, whatever is on the right, which is please log in, will get assigned to message. And then when I print message, please log in will get printed. Okay, now let's see it in action. See, it says please log in. But what if I make this is logged in as true? See, now it says welcome back. Okay. Any doubts in this, guys? In the ternary operator or the shorthand of if and else? No. So here I'm assigning a value to a variable and then trying to print it. You can directly do it like this also. Console.log or console.log. You don't need to assign it to a variable. Okay. That I wrote it because I want you guys to understand. But now that you have understood it, I'm removing the easy thing and I'm just making it look even crispier. See, it said welcome back. Okay, got it? Got it? Any doubt, guys?
No.
Okay. Sorry, guys. Able to understand the class? Do you have any things like you want me to go slow or you want me to go fast? Things like that.